right, welcome back to another episode number 2 of the Trinity Talk show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. This is episode number 2. Again, if you haven't heard of this show, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a quick favor. Subscribe to the channel down below. We're brand new. Like the video. It's going to help us spread this around. Again, this is a show covering Dallas Trinity FC in its inaugural season in the USL Super League. Episode 1's already out of the gate. We hit it hard and fast before game 1 got here. Go to the channel, click on that one, watch that one, get some of our thoughts to kick off 2024. But today, we have officially played our first game as a team. We're going to talk about that. And we're also talking about what we learned, what we're excited about when it comes to the FC Barcelona match that is looming this coming weekend. And in the midst of all of that, what we're just excited about now that we've actually gotten a chance to see the ladies play. So again, if you don't know who we are, my name's Jose, joined by my co-host here, good friend of mine, Kelson Honeycutt. And we're going to go ahead and kick off the show now, man. Let's do it. So I'll kick it off with your take first, and I'll offer mine, because I think mine's a little bit lengthier. But let's start it off with what we learned from the opening match of the season against the Tampa Bay Sun, who in their own respect came out and actually did decently well. I thought they performed well. But Kelson, we'll start with you, bro, and then we'll work your way back over to me. What did you learn from that opening game?
Yeah, well, first off, hey, welcome back. Glad you're here for episode 2. But absolutely, I mean, it was great getting to see the, first game of the season, against Tampa. I think first off, just want to give a quick shout out to Tampa, goalie Ashley Orcus. I mean, because, hey, I think that you kept your team in that, because my point here and what I really learned is that we know how to press really well, and that the first half of the game, we absolutely dominated, which was absolutely great to see, right? Because that means that we know how to play together. We know there's a plan of action moving forward when the opposite team, when Tampa has the ball, we know what to do to get back and, recover and just really condense the field a little bit to make it harder to play through, right? But at the same time, when we do recover the ball and when we're moving forward, there are opportunities and there's chances there. And like I said, Ashley Orcus, she just, kept Tampa in the game that whole first half, which I think was just, she had some crazy saves there.
Dude, probably player of the match for Tampa.
Yeah. Seriously. So I think when it gets right down to it, though, looking at what we did, just that being able to press really well, I think is a very high standard, and it's a good thing to see in your first game, because that means that, again, the coaches have done really well in training. Coach Petroselli, Coach McDonald, right? They know what they want out of their team whenever we're in, going towards the goal, and whenever we don't have the ball anymore, right? And whenever we're defending. So it just, there's a lot of professional, not this is professional, right? But there's a lot of, EPL teams, and that's where my comparisons go, right? Or is the English Premier League. There's a lot of EPL teams that don't know how to press well.
Yeah,
Manchester United for the past few years, right? That's my team, and we have not known how to press well. So
there's a lot of men's teams. Yeah. It doesn't matter what league we're talking about, that just don't know how to collectively do something like that together. I mean, pressing well just requires a lot of coordination. So I agree with you.
Yeah, so that fact alone, I think that just stands to really service the team incredibly well going forward for this year. Because if you can have that down, then that means that, just moving forward, it's a lot easier to work pieces in. Because if you can defend well, if you know what to do when you're out of attack, again, condense the field, make it hard for the other team to play through you. And then once you get the ball, move it forward. So quick shout out to, actually, I won't get too far ahead, but still, Sam Mesa. I think that she was a workhorse. She was calling for the ball all the time. And when she got it, she moved it forward, right? And that itself, right? You know what to do. You know that there's a player that's going to be, constantly looking for the ball, not afraid to ask for it, and then, move it forward. So, sorry, I kind of got on a little tangent.
No, you're good. You're good, bro. I agree with you. In fact, that's, when we talk about the one thing I learned about this team, me going into a game as a fan, a casual women's soccer fan, if you will, a strong appreciation for the men's game, I absolutely learned who is going to lead us on the pitch moving forward. It is our midfield 3. Our midfield triangle is absolutely the gem out of everything here that you see with Dallas Trinity FC. Not that to knock the other ladies, right? Not to knock the other players who put an absolute shift in the opening game of the season. I kind of have 2 things here that I learned, if you will. One was, again, the midfield 3. I think Amber Brooks in the first 5-10 minutes stood out immediately. I think her ability to be physical from the get-go, to have that I don't take shit from anybody type of attitude. And frankly, just protected her back line. I think that Amber was. I always kind of say this, about DMs that I respect on the men's side of the game. It felt like it was a man amongst boys. It really felt like it was a woman amongst girls. Like, she was just out there, like I said, offering this enforcer type of mentality and the way that she plays. That I think that will lean on very, very heavily this season. I don't know if you felt the same way about it.
No, absolutely. I was just going to say, that's captain material, right?
Yeah.
Like, she is the captain. So I like my captains to go out there and make that statement. So I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah, and like Kelson said, dude, Sam Meza may be our controlling 8 to 10 player throughout the entire season. Like, it was great to see how much energy she had, but I think what was even better than that was she was willing to grab the ball, in the defensive third, break lines, move her way into the attack, and then distribute. Sometimes you get those box-to-box midfielders, you don't really know what they're going to do by the time they get to the attacking third. They have to find somebody or take a shot, or just, you want their decision-making to be on point. And it felt like up until she started to get tired, in late in the second half, she was really, really finding a way to conduct, to be the maestro in the midfield. I got a feeling by the end of the season, I got a strong feeling Sam Mason's going to be my favorite player. I don't know. I'm attracted to that type of soccer, that type of football, where you get someone who's just not scared to want the ball in those big moments, to carry past those midfielders and break lines, and then be unselfish when the time is right. Find a way to put another teammate in a better position to score. And that's the other thing that we learned here. We're not polished up front just yet, right? We saw that, bro. We dominated the first half, and had we had our finishing boots on in week 1, dude, this game could have been 3, 4, 5-1. Like, it really could have. I don't want to take anything away from Tampa Bay. And you said it yourself. The keeper, was it Orcus?
Orcus. Yeah.
Orcus. She came up with some point blank saves. She kept Tampa Bay in it for so long. I respect that. But I got a feeling that whether it was the moment Enzi Broussard decided to be unselfish and lay it off to a teammate, or, we had other set pieces that just didn't convert for us because the finishing was just this slight bit off. I think that'll get better. It can only get better over time, right? Brand new team, only been training for so long. Signings, Enzi Broussard was signed just a month ago. They need time to gel, to build the chemistry, and of course to get into mid-season form. But you gotta feel like when that happens, Dallas is going to be, this team is going to be in a very, very strong position. But that's the second thing that I will say that we learned, is that just we're not there yet. We need time. We need to be patient as a fan base, give our team some time to get into mid-season form before we can really, really judge what this attack's going to be able to do. But man, that midfield trio, Brooks, Danielson, Meza, I got a feeling that's going to be the trio all season long, bro. All season long, we're just going to be raving about how much we're able to control games because of the talent that we have in that midfield trio, combined with the way that McDonald wants this team to play. And I think we'll find out, right? Just kind of pivot into our next segment. I think we'll really find out how we truly want to play when we come up against opposition that you would consider to be world class, and that is FCB Femini, right? That's Barcelona Femini, through and through, right? We're going to see how press resistant we are, how willing we are to stick to our principles of building out of the back, our ability to continue to press as a unit against a team who's as good as breaking down the press or playing out of the press as Barcelona are. Right. All those elements of our game that we still have question marks around, those I think will be answered in a massive way come this coming weekend, right? At the time of recording, when we get a chance to play against FC Barcelona. So I don't know what you're going to be watching out for, but that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Now, question, do you think we're going to keep with the same starting lineup that we had against Tampa? Because, and the reason why I ask this is because, and I don't mean to throw anyone under the bus here, but there was a big drop. So another thing that I learned here is how we make our subs and the depth of our subs. That's one thing I really want to, keep in mind here, because I think that our starting lineup was incredibly strong. It's just that when you notice that your legs are getting tired, right? Now, keep in mind, this is the first 90 minutes, the ladies are going to work up into being, fully, as the season goes along, used to that. But, and I don't mean to throw Henson under the bus here, but it was different, right? When NZ Broussard came off, there wasn't as much of a threat going forward there, and I'm wondering, what is that going to look like as the season goes through here? And on top of that, right, is that going to change? How does that change our lineups moving forward? Like, are we going to try and, in this match specifically, try and give more people more opportunities, right? Just because again, it's a friendly, or are we going to try and come up with a strong, lineup that we had last week?
I think it's a good question, right? I don't know if this lineup that we saw, which again, for those who don't know, I'll put it on the screen in post-editing, kind of what the lineup really looked like. But from back to front, it was Estrada, Guillen, Weinbrenner, Davison, Dorsey. The midfield trio that I spoke of already, Brooks, Danielson, Meza. And then up top, it looked like a 4-3-3 at first, but I saw a lot of Broussard and Thornton getting on the ball. And in terms of like pushing forward as traditional strikers, and Ubogagu kind of being the one true winger that seemed to be looking for those two in the box a lot. Right. But that was the three up top. From left to right was Ubogagu, Thornton, NZ Broussard. I don't know if that was Petrocelli. I don't know if that was Pauline McDonald. I don't know who put that lineup together. It's so early that we can just speculate at this point.
Right.
But I think, you're right. I think when Henson came in, like the 55th, 56th minute for NZ, because she, I don't know if she pulled up with a knock.
I think it was a cramp of some kind.
It was hot, bro.
Yeah.
It was hot. Yeah. It's summer. It's August. It's humid. Whether you're in Florida or Texas, like it's hot.
Right.
But I don't know if this is truly our strongest 11. We also didn't see Maya Gordon, someone that I was kind of excited to see in the preseason. Coming out of LSU, I thought as a forward, she's going to be able to. I think she'll be able to add quite a bit to our attack. So we didn't see her at all from what I remember against Tampa Bay. So I think that our lineup is still going to see some moving parts, some rotation. I think we'll have to rotate quite a bit against Barcelona because, one, it's not a league game. Two, you do want to try and test as many players in the lineup and in the roster as you possibly can against the best opposition possible, just to see what you can really tinker with and tweak game over game. So there's a lot that I think McDonald and Petrocelli will want to learn in this game against Barcelona. Just mentally, physically, a lot they'll want to learn about their players. And so we could see quite a bit of rotation. This might be our lineup. I have no idea. But I am hoping to see, some changes that will, like you said, boost our team at the right time. So I agree with you. It felt like in the game, from the 60th minute on, that we dropped a level. Whether it was pace, energy, just attacking prowess in general. It just felt like we weren't at it like we were in the first half, for sure.
And I mean, the humidity was incredibly high down there in Tampa. I don't know if anyone's ever played in humidity. It sucks, right? I think we all know that, right?
Yeah.
But still, if that happens, and then this goes into the coaching, right? In the sense that, with McDonald there, would she have made earlier subs or more subs than Petrocelli did? Right?
Yes.
Like that is the question that I had. Like Tampa was definitely subbing early and often, and it just, why weren't we doing the same thing, right? So again, and whenever we did make the subs, right, it didn't look like we changed the structure of our formations. So again, Henson may be incredibly good in a different aspect of working in a maybe two up front, right, and just more support around her. But in just the way that she came on, there's just something that dropped, and it's not just her, right? There are others that came in, different subs that came on, right? There was just a noticeable drop off. So just trying to piece that together, right? And again, first game of the season, we're going into the second game of the season. It's a friendly, so this is going to be just a lot of fun to be able to try different things out, and I'm just excited to see where those changes happen and what changes are coming about. So
yeah, I agree. And look, for those who don't tune into FC Barcelona, maybe you don't watch European soccer, I think it's going to be a good game for you to tune into and gauge kind of where our ladies are today versus where they could be by the end of the season, at least by the end of the regular season. But this team that's coming right to the U.S. is no joke. Easily probably the most successful side in the history of the women's game. You can argue that along with sides like Lyon. I think, those two are arguably the most dominant in all of women's football or women's soccer globally. So this is going to be a massive test, man. And again, whether we're talking about Kira Walsh, whether we're talking about Lauren Graham, Aitana Bonmati, Alexia Putellas, right? Like, these are all household names globally to anybody who follows the women's game. And they're going to be here testing our ladies in what we hope is going to be a very competitive environment.
Man, that was exciting.
It is. It really is, man.
Just you saying those names, I was like, oh my gosh, it gives me chills.
And dude, I still feel bad for like watching Alexia Putellas. I know for those who are following the Euros, you know, she had that miss. You know, it is what it is. But I still, or sorry, not the Euros, the Olympics. You know, they went to the bronze medal game. She had that penalty kick miss. Spain lost it. But again, we're talking about a team who has other ballers just like her. And the one that I'm most excited to watch, in all honesty, I mean, it's probably many women's soccer fans' favorite player to an extent, is Aitana. Aitana Bonmati is someone that I consider to be the female version of like Iniesta, Andres Iniesta, for those who followed the men's side for all of these years and know he's an absolute Barca legend and just footballing legend. Iniesta almost with like Xavi-like capabilities built in. She has this level of intelligence around the game that I have such massive respect for. And in all honesty, man, I love watching her play. I've been watching FCB Femini for at least a few years now, and frankly, it's been like one of the few women's teams that I do watch consistently time and time again. So again, I feel like if we get any kind of result from this game, and we feel like we were able to create meaningful chances, not just play to win, but play our way, the Dallas Trinity way, however that's going to look long term. If we're brave enough and courageous enough to press from the front, to try and win the ball high up the pitch, to take advantage of the chances that we do get in front of goal and convert them, I think it just bodes so well for the rest of the season, man. I'm so pumped.
I think that's a good point, though. So, you know, I know we're going to be talking about some expectations for the game here. And, you know, for me, like I'm definitely going to be imagining that there's going to be nerves, right? You're going up against some of the, like you said, world household names, right? Some of the best players out there in the women's game. So, yes, there's going to be names there, right? But what I'm hoping is, you know, just like you said, take it to them. Just don't be afraid. Right?
Facts.
Like, just don't be afraid. You know, we're all human, to put it bluntly, right? So know that you are at a high level, you are playing at a high level, and yes, you have another team that's playing at a high level. So just think about it that way. Simplify it, right? Don't overthink it. And if you can simplify it, I just hope that means that they play with, you know, courage, with passion, right? And they just go out there and just try things, like you said. Be creative, right? Just try and have that identity that you're, you know, working towards in practice. Just put that in action, and as long as you can get that, then hey, this will be fun.
If there were 3 keys to victory, if you will, right? Like not even victory. What I consider to be victory is simply, like Kelson said, playing your way in a courageous, brave fashion to get a good sense of where you are against the best competition. That's literally it. Yeah. Like, the pressure is all on Barcelona coming into this game. It frankly is. Like, they are the dominant team. It's the same case for the men's game when Manchester United or Arsenal or Barcelona for the men's side or AC Milan or whoever it is come to town, right, to play against MLS All-Stars or against any other, or against themselves, right, on tour. All of the pressure's always on the bigger side. It just is. It's how the game works. And so understanding that, there's zero pressure on our ladies to go out there, to play their way and just gauge where we are, almost like a litmus test against where we could be. And so if there were a keys to victory here, it was, for me anyway, what I'm expecting is, 1, for us to be brave. That's it. Check. Play brave. Play the way you want to play regardless of who your opponent is. Doesn't matter if it's an exhibition match or the Champions League final. Play your way. I want to see us do that. 2, I want to see us take a slight step up from where we were against the Tampa Bay Sun. I think it's the opening game. They're going to be nerves, right? If you're a defender, you have nerves and butterflies in your stomach up until you make your first tackle. If you're a midfielder, you have nerves up until you make your first pass or cross your first ball, right? Like, same thing with a striker. Your first shot on goal, whatever it may be. There's always going to be these nerves, and it does impact how you play. So I want to see us, you know, just take a slight step up. Maybe we're crisper in our passing. Maybe Sam Meza is connecting more with the forwards on these through passes she's putting in. You know, maybe she's carrying the ball less and including Danielson, including Amber Brooks in the build-up play a little bit more. Who knows what it is, right? But I want to see, or Enzi being a little more selfish in front of net and taking that shot because she knows she can finish it. So that's like number 2, a slight bump in performance from what we saw in game 1. And then 3, I'll be honest, this might be going out on a huge limb. I want to see a result. I want to see a score. I want to see us take it and make this a very difficult game for Barcelona, even if it's for just periods in time, right? If there's a 30-minute stretch where we pin them back or we make them look slightly more average than what we know they can be because they're a fantastic team, doesn't matter. I just want to see spells where we are on the front foot and not just sitting back waiting for our gargantuan side like FC Barcelona to break us down, right? So some of those points kind of overlap a little bit, right? They're kind of intermingled, but that's all in this early point of the season. That's all we can really hope for and wish for in this, what we're calling now our home opener to an extent, and the second game of the season. Even though it's an exhibition, it's not the regular season home opener, but it's the first chance that Dallas fans get to watch this team in person. I'm hoping it really kicks off well. And that's the last thing I'll say is I'm expecting, because I'm going to try and watch it while I'm on the road. If it is being aired on Peacock, I'm going to try and watch it on the road. I want to see fans, bro. I want to see fans show up, man. Please. If you're not there to watch Dallas Trinity, please tell me you're there to watch FC Barcelona. Like, just show up, pack out the Cotton Bowl. It was so great seeing the Carolina Ascent game to open up last weekend for the USL Super League. Yeah. It was so crazy to see all of these fans just pile in and support this new league, set records across numerous stadiums in the same weekend. This league needs more of that support to survive, right? Not that it's in any danger of falling through, but soccer is still a niche sport in this country. We need as much support as humanly possible. So that's the last thing I'll leave it on for myself.
You know what else is going to help? Jersey releases. When can I go out and buy a jersey? Hey, it's second game, so I hope that, all jokes aside, I hope that I'll be able to buy, a jersey here pretty soon, because, man, I like the jersey we were wearing. They honestly looked, I think I mentioned to you in the, whenever we were streaming the game.
The watch party,
It looked like it was kind of some Barcelona-esque colors, so, hey.
I want to see a jersey with the maroon numbers on, though. I don't know if you noticed, they had the black, standard kit numbers. Like, bro, give me some maroon. Do the home side colors all the way through. I don't know, just really rep it. I agree with you. With Nike as the partner, as the outfitting partner, there's a good amount of potential for this kit to be absolute fire. So
I'm excited.
We're lining up to get one. Trinity, let's get them rolling. Let's get some merch sales going, some apparel sales going. I already got my hat, I already got my scarf, but I can always use more gear. So
got my hat coming in, and I'm excited for that. Well, one thing I want to add on to your list, your 3 right there, you were just saying there is that I also want our team to realize that be one step ahead of your first mistake. Have that mindset going in, because mistakes are going to happen. Right? It's going to happen in every single game, no matter if you're on, your best performance. There's still going to be a mistake, right? And there's still something that you can go back and say, oh man, I wish I would have played that ball better. I wish I would have put more oomph behind that pass, taken that shot instead of passing it, right? Or defended better, right? There's always going to be that opportunity there. So just have that mindset of like, hey, I'm going to make a mistake, but guess what? I'm going to get back and I'm going to recover, and I'm going to be beyond that first mistake, right? And if you have that mindset, then again, it doesn't matter who you're going against. You can be going up against the queens, right? And whatever sport you want to talk about here, any legend, and you're going to be able to still move past anything that happens there. So but beyond that, totally agree with what you're saying, and I'm excited.
I'm excited, bro. Yeah, it will be good. And then finally, we have kind of our last point of the show today, which is players that we're most excited for. Which, if I had to pick one, and I will try to pick one, because there's a lot to be excited about with this team in general, right? Like, I feel like we do have some real ballers on this side. I got a feeling by the end of the season, and look, let me know in the comments down below, like who your favorite player is. But I feel like by the end of the year, I think Sam Mays is going to be my girl, man. I think she's absolutely going to be the player that I consistently watch out for. And it doesn't matter where the ball is on the pitch. I'm kind of following what she's doing, like where her movements are, what layers of support she's adding, and then, of course, when she gets the ball, dude, her ability to break lines, just to carry the ball from the defensive third into the midfield, whether she finds someone there or not, or continues to break the third line into the attacking third, I just feel like has this opportunity for her goal contributions, if she really wanted them as a midfielder, to be through the roof, Like she really does. Like
Absolutely.
What again, goal contributions, assists, goals herself. If she starts getting brave enough to shoot from distance, which she had a couple of those, right? So I think.
Yeah, I love to see that actually. Like,
yeah, dude.
That's just confidence.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So for me, like that is the player that I am the most excited for. Outside of that, it's probably someone like Amber Brooks because I think she and I have a similar mentality in terms of how we approach the game. I think you sort of like a no bullshit attitude. Someone would come in, put in a great shift. Probably doesn't get the flowers they always deserve because they're doing the dirty work, the grunt work on the pitch. But somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to protect the back line. And the captain never needs the flowers, right? She's there for the 3 points and right. She moves on. So, yeah, I'd say I'm a sucker for good midfielders. And Sam Meza, she just, it's so easy to love the way that she plays because this North Carolina alum just knows how to grab the ball and make something happen. So that's who I'm most excited for to kind of, put a bow on this episode.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, and I would choose Sam as well, but just for the sake of making sure we're including as many people as possible, right? Love Sam as well, but first couple things, I just want to give a quick shout out to Hannah Davison, right? You got our first goal for Trinity, that's big momentum right there. That is amazing, especially coming from a center back, right? That's huge, and that's a lot of confidence there. But hey, that's history. So you'll always be in the books as having that first goal, as well as the first assist. Going to Chioma Ubugagu.
Chioma,
that's pretty amazing. Again, big ups to both of you guys or both of y'all for really again getting your names into history for this team.
Her service actually was top notch. Yeah. If you really think about it, like all the moments, the corner kicks, even the set pieces where we kind of laid it off from similar positions, like her ability to whip a pass in with good velocity on the ball, the accuracy of it, like I'm telling you, man, we had so many chances to score, and I really want to see this tick up. It has to. It absolutely has to.
That's where my favorite players so far. Yes, I grew up playing defense, so I'm always going to be looking out for those defenders, right? But I am actually more excited for a partnership that I kind of see blooming in a way. It's, Enzi and Chioma, working together. Right?
Yeah.
Just like you said. Chioma was given so many great, just balls in the right direction. I'm just going to put it very broadly that way because we had so many opportunities, whenever she whipped that ball into Hannah Davison, right? It was just extremely well placed. And then on top of that, right, it seems like there's just a partnership that's blooming between, some of our mid lines and our midfielders. And it's just, Enzi, she's always got an eye towards goal. And, I hope that she takes more shots because I think that, she can definitely be that change maker for, finding a goal and just a moment of brilliance. I think that she has that opportunity and that ability. And then Chioma, again, she was there in almost every single build-up play that we had to getting an opportunity for a goal-scoring, moment. And, them two right there, if they can, work together and, bring in Sam, right, bring in Amber, there's a lot to be excited here. There's a lot of, partnerships that you can just be like, oh, yes, I see how that's going to work down the road, and let's just hope for the best. Right?
Yeah, bro. It was 14 shots to 6. We absolutely have to convert more. Like I don't want that to be the overarching theme of, like, what we saw in game 1, but it kind of was. Like, we had a bad day in front of the net. It is what it is. But it is also the opening game. It doesn't matter what league you're talking about. You can never really judge how good or bad a team will be from the opening game of the season. Not even the opening month of the season. Like, you need, in a long season, time to build chemistry, to build, like I said, to get to mid-season form. And that's even more true in a league like this where we're just kicking off things for the very first time in history. So, guys, look, we'll leave it there, man. We're going to try and keep these episodes every week, somewhat short, 30-plus minutes every single time. And that way, you kind of get this bite-sized idea of how Dallas Trinity FC is performing against our expectations, against maybe even some of the broader community's expectations. But look, whether you agreed or disagreed, let us know in the comments down below. If you're listening to us on audio, let us know in the reviews. Again, we'll take any feedback that we can possibly get to make this show better. But no matter what, we're going to try and deliver a weekly show every single week throughout the season, either in person or remotely, so that you guys can get your fill and buy into the Dallas Trinity FC team like we have bought into in a number of different ways. So, look, we'll wrap the show there. Again, we appreciate you guys. Let us know how we think about the show. Let us know how you feel about this team in the comments down below. And again, we'll catch you guys next time. My name is Jose.
Kelson.
And this is Trinity Talk. We'll see you guys next time.